Yes, good evening, everyone. This is Serunjoji Henry. I'm going to do a number about the payroll, and here is the number. I want you to take screenshots so that you follow up as I'm taking you through the solution. That's the number. So I'm going to open up my Excel. Then I'm going to highlight the key information and I paste it here. I'm going to highlight the key information. I fill it here. So I'm going to pause the video for a while as I do write out the key information. Then I'm going to start again recording, showing you the formulas, how I'm going to do to fill in the solution to the answers. Let me pause. So I'm continuing to record from here because I finished filling in the key information that was provided. I put the employee number, the employee name, and the number of hours worked for, because they are the information, that's the information which was given to us. So for the employee number, I'm going to come and I name it. For this one was 1, this one was 2. So having got these two, I'm just going to highlight all of them, then I will auto select all. So I'll come here to part 3, come here to part D, which is the complex part. That is part D. They asked, I'm going to come to part D, which is the basic hours, because now we are going to look for the basic hours which were worked for. But in the question, they told us the hours in a week are 10 hours, and each month has 4 weeks. So we are going to use our formula, which is equals. We shall write the 10, which is for the hours, then we shall multiply it by the 4. Then we shall get 40, and we shall autofill it. So then we shall come here to the next part, which is the overtime. I'll abbreviate it as, since I write it's overtime. Right, overtime. So to get my overtime, I'll get the number of hours worked for. So I'll come and I use my equal sign. I get my number of hours worked for. Then I subtract. So I subtract off the basic or the standard hours. Then I'll get it. So when I get it, I will autofill and it will give me the number of hours for overtime. So after the overtime, I'm going to come to the rate per hour. So to get my rate per hour, I'm going to get the rate per hour it was given in the question, which is 10,000. So that one was given, no need for its formula. So that one I will just autofill. Then I'll go to the next part, and that is the basic pay. I'm going to look for the basic pay, but getting the basic pay, I'm going to use the formula which is equals. I will get the basic hours, this one, then I will multiply basic hours, then I will multiply it with the rate per hour. Now press my enter, I get 400,000. Then I will autofill. So I'll come to the next part, which is the overtime. But the problem I'm having here, overtime was given us into two parts. There's overtime which is for 3 hours, for the first 3 hours, and the last one which is for the excess hours. So for this one, I'm going to do overtime for first for the first 3 hours. So I'll come here to get it. I'll use our formula which is equals. So I will write the minimum. I'll write it, then I'll open the bracket. I'll write min, I'll open the bracket. So it will bring us the formula, and the number 1 we shall put 3 because it is a minimum hour, because they said the first 3 hours, so 3 is the minimum. I'll use that 3. After writing that 3, I'll put the comma. So you'll see they give us the number 2. Number 2 will be the hours worked, which will be this. So after getting that, I will subtract the standard hours, which is this. After subtracting the standard hours, I will close the bracket. After closing the bracket, then I will multiply everything. So I'll multiply everything by the rate per hour. This one, then I'll press my enter and it will give me the answer. So I will auto scroll. So I will adjust it. Then I'll come to this next one. They will say the overtime of the excess hours. So I'll come here and write overtime of the excess hours. So I'll use our formula, which will be equals. Next time I'll write max. Then I'll open the bracket. I'll put the first number, which will be 0. I put a comma. Then the second number will be the number of hours worked, which is this. Then I'll subtract the basic or the standard hours, which is 40. So I will close the bracket. Then I will multiply it. I will multiply everything with the rate per hour. Sorry. Before doing this, after subtracting the standard hours, then I will still subtract the 3. After subtracting the 3, then I will close the bracket. Then I will multiply everything with the rate per hour, which is this. Then still I will multiply everything with 2. Reason being, in the question, this overtime was the double pay. So that's why I multiplied it with the 2. Then I'll press enter. So when I get it, I will autofill it and I will get the answer. So I will adjust here so that it fits. Then I'll come to the next item that I need to look for, and that will be the total overtime. So the next thing I'm going to look for will be the total overtime, which I will call the overtime, call it the overtime allowance. Overtime allowance. So I'll come here. To get it, I will use our equal sign. Then I get this. Then I will add this one. Then I'll get it. So after getting it, I will autofill. I get it. So here you're going to excuse me. Here I'm going to insert another entire row. So here I'm going to write allowances. I'll put in capital allowances. So I'll finish the overtime allowance, then I will adjust it. So I'll come here to the next one, which is housing. So in the question we were told the housing allowance is 40% of the basic pay for all employees not staying in the university houses. So I'll come here and I will use our formula, which will be equals the 40%. I'll write the 40%. Then I will multiply it with the basic pay, because they said it is of the basic pay. So the basic pay is here. I'll press enter. Then I'll auto scroll. But we were told that 3 employees, because these ones all were not staying in the university houses. So we were told employee number 3, that is this one, Lule, is employee number 3. So that one we shall remove him. Then employee number 8 shall also remove. Employee number 8, we shall also remove him. And also employee number 10, we shall also remove him. Yeah, reason being, for them, employees number 3, 8, and 10 were staying in the university houses and were each being charged 85,000 for utilities, that is power and water. So I'll come for the next allowance, and that will be the top up allowance. So I'll write top up. But to get it, we were told top up is 30%. So I'll use my equal sign. I write the 30%. Then I will multiply it with the basic pay. Then I'll get the answer. So after getting this answer, I will autofill. Then I will go to the next allowance, which is transport allowance, which is 20,000 each. But this allowance is for 1 week, and they are 4 weeks. So we shall write transport. We'll come here and we shall say our equal sign. We shall write that 20,000, which was given to us. Then we shall multiply it with 4 weeks, and we shall get that. So after getting that, we shall fill it. Then having finished the allowances, then we shall calculate the gross pay. So getting the gross pay, we shall use our formula, which will be equals the basic pay, which is this. Then we shall add all the allowances. We shall add this. We add this for housing. We add the top up, and we also add the transport allowance. Press our enter. So we shall get that. Then we shall autofill to get everything. Then we shall go to here. We shall calculate. After getting the gross pay, we are going to calculate the taxable pay because it will also be needed in the future. So we shall calculate the taxable pay, and to get the taxable pay, we shall use our formula, which will be the gross pay to be the gross pay minus the NSSF, but we've not yet calculated the NSSF. So I'm going to first leave out this, then I'm going to replace it with the deductions. So let's come here, we write our deductions. Oh, sorry, this shall also remove. Let's come here, we write our deductions. Our deductions will be, we shall write local service tax, and to get our local service tax, because it was given to us, we are going to use the formula, which is equals, we shall write if, we open our bracket, the gross profit is less, is less than 10,000. So we shall write the 10,000. So here we shall put the comma. Our tax will be 0, so we shall write 0. Then we shall put a comma. Then we write if, we open our bracket, our gross pay is less or equal to 200,000, we shall put a comma. So we shall divide it. Our rate of local service tax was given, which is 5,000. But remember, in the question they said is payable, LS is payable in 4 equal installments. So meaning I'll divide that by 4. Then I'll put a comma. Still I'll go on and say if I open the bracket, this gross pay is less or equal to 300,000. Sorry, 300,000, comma, its rate is 10,000. For the 10,000, we shall divide it by 4. And you remember here, everything you put here values. So if you want, you're writing 10,000, please don't put commas. Just write it as it is after you put a comma, because it will differentiate everything. So we shall go to the next part, which is if we open our bracket, our gross pay is less or equal to 400,000, 400,000. So there we shall, the rate which was given was 20,000. So we shall divide it by 4. Then we put our comma, we write again if, open our bracket, the gross pay is less or equal to 500, comma, the rate which was given is 30,000. So we shall divide it by 4 and put a comma. We write again if, open our bracket, our gross pay is less or equal to 600,000, comma, the rate which was given is 40,000. We divide it by 4, put a comma, we continue. If, open our bracket, our gross pay is less or equal to 700,000, we shall divide 700,000. The rate which was given is 60,000. So that one we shall divide it by 4, put our comma, we shall continue. If, open our bracket, our gross pay is less or equal to 800,000, to put a comma, the rate which was given is 70,000. So we shall divide that by 4, put our comma. So we shall go to the following one. If, open our bracket, our gross pay is less or equal to 900,000, we shall the rate which was given is 80. So 80,000 is the one we shall divide by 4. After, we shall put a comma, then we shall continue with if our gross pay is less or equal to 1 million, we shall put a comma. The rate which was given is 90. 90,000 is the one we shall divide by 4. We shall put a comma. Then we shall continue and say if, open our bracket, if our gross pay is, because now this is the last one, so we shall not use the less than, we shall use more than 1 million. We shall put a comma. We shall put a comma. Then, so if it is greater than 1 million, the rate which was given is 10,000. So the 10,000 is the one we shall divide by 4. And after dividing it by 4, hoping you see, since I'm working on this very last one, hoping you've seen the brackets also have changed. So I'm going to count the ifs that I've used. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So here when I'm closing, those are the brackets I should put. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I'll press my enter. So it will give me Yes, yes. So we had got the local service tax from that formula. So when you press enter, we got the formula. So we are going to autofill and we get the rest. So we are going to go to the next deduction, and the next deduction is NSSF. NSSF. But in the question we are given NSSF fund is deducted from the gross wage as per the statutory rate, and we all know the statutory rate for Uganda is 5%. So we are going to come here and we are going to use our formula, which will be equal sign, shall write our 5%, then we shall multiply it with the of the gross wage, which is here. We have the gross pay, which is here. Then we shall get the, oh, sorry, I've done some mistake here. We are going to get 5%. Yes, we are going to get 5%. The formula is right, just I had misplaced. I had to click here. Sorry, I'm going to do the 5%. Then I'm going to multiply it with the gross pay, which is this. Oh, sorry, I don't know. I'm going to use our formula, which is equals 5%. Then I'm going to multiply it with our gross pay, which is this. I'm sorry, initially I had clicked here, that's why it gave me the other things you saw. But the right thing is here, because this is the numbers, this one is not number. So I'll press my enter. It will give me this, then I will autofill, and it will give me the rest. So I'll go to the next deduction. The next deduction is per year. But the problem with getting per year, it needs the taxable. So getting per year, before I get per year, I'm going to get here the taxable. Anyway, I'm going to get the taxable pay. I'm going to put it here, the taxable pay. So I'll come here to get the taxable pay. I'll get our, I'll use our sign, which is equals. That will be the gross pay. Then I will subtract NSSF, which I've got, and it will give me that value. So when I get that value, okay, I will just autofill it. Then I'll come here. Then I'll write the per year, which is known as the pay as you earn. So to get it, since we are given pay is deductible from the taxable pay as follows. That's why I had to first calculate the taxable pay, because I'm going to use it here in per year. So I'm going to use our formula, which is equal sign. Then I'll open the bracket. Then I'll use the taxable pay. Then I'll say if it is less, if it is say if it is less or equal to the value which was given to 235,000, I'll put a comma. Sorry, I had not written our if. I have to first write if. I open the bracket. Then I put our taxable pay. Then I write if. Then I write our taxable pay, if it is less or equal to 235,000, for that one, I'll put our comma and we shall go to the value if true. There they say our rate will be 0. That's what I will put. Then I'll put our comma. Then I'll write if I open our bracket, our taxable pay is less or equal to the next value which was given, that is 335,000. Now I'll put a comma. So they gave us the rate which is 10%. The value they gave us is 10%. I'll, I will I will multiply it. Then I'll multiply it with this value which I'm going to get after, which I'm going to put in the bracket, which will be taxable pay minus 23 235,500, 235,000. Then I will close the bracket. Then I'll put the comma. Then I will write again if I open my bracket, I write my taxable pay if it is less or equal to 41,000, I'll put a comma. The rate which they gave us here is 20%, so I'll write the 20%. Then I will multiply it with what will be in the bracket, and that will be the taxable pay. When I subtract off the 335,000, and I close the bracket, I subtracted that amount because they said amount exceeding 3,000, amount exceeding 335,000. So after that, I will add the 10,000 which was told us, which is added to it. That's the 10,000. So I'll put the comma. Then I'll write again if I open the bracket, our taxable pay is this time. Since it is the last one, I'm going to use the greater sign. 41,410,000. I'll put a comma. They gave us the rate which is 30%. Then I will multiply it with the brackets, what will be in the bracket, and that will be our taxable income when we subtract off the 410,000. Then I'll close the bracket. Then I will add the 200, I'll add the 25,000 because it's what is given. So I will count the ifs I've used: 1, 2, 2, 3, and 4. So those are the brackets that I will use while closing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hoping you see the brackets. Since I'm using them, you're hoping you see they are all changing colors, representing every transaction that I've done. I'll press enter, then it will give me the paye. I'll autofill and it will give me the paye for the rest. So after getting the paye, I'm going to come to the next one, the next deduction, which loan repay. But remember, the loan repayments, they are not for everyone. So I will come, alright, loan repayment. So I'll come and I write to those that were given. They said employee number 2, so I write to this number 2, 50. Then they said to number 6, so they said number 6 is 30. And then they said the last one is number 5 is 28,000. So those are the loan repayments. I'll go to the next deduction, and that will be utilities. Remember, when we were given this, they said the 3 who stay in the houses for those who don't get housing allowances, employee number 3, 10, because they stay in the university houses, so they are charged 85 each for 85,000 each, and that is employee number 3. Come here, right? 85. Then number 3, 8. I write 85. And employee 10, number 10, I write 85. So then I will go to the next one after getting all the deductions. So I'll come here and I sum up all the deductions. So here I will write the total deductions. So I will adjust it. So total deductions, how do I get them? I'm going to use our formula, which will be equals the local service tax. Then I will add the NSSF. Then I will also add the paye. Then I will get it. After getting it, I will autofill so that I get the rest. So after getting the total deductions, I'm going to come and calculate the net. And here I'm going to get it by using our formula, which is equals net pay is got from the gross pay minus the total deductions, which is that. So when I get it, I will autofill it. And I have finished that number because when you look into the questions, they said using an appropriate program, design a suitable payroll for JK Limited, and which I've done, and it is clear which I have done, and it is clearly showing the basic earnings, the allowances, the deductions, and the net pay for each employee. So let me thank you from here. I remain yours, Serunjoji Henry. Have a blessed day. Oh, sorry, I had forgotten up something here, but to get the total deductions, we are going to use our formula, which will be equals, we shall get the LST, then we shall add NSSF, we shall add the PAYE, we shall add the loan repayment, we shall also add the utilities, then shall get the answer. So after getting the answer, we shall autofill again. Yes, that's it.